Hello again, Cancer. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. I'm looking at your horoscope for October 2013, and there's a real interesting connection between the ancient philosophies that say, to attain that pinnacle of human awareness and self-understanding, to be like a child is very important. I'm not talking about childishness, I'm talking about childlikeness. And I've discovered that to myself, having a little daughter again at this latter stage of my life, to study how they operate, how they view the world with such innocence and such lack of judgment is quite interesting. Now, if we couple that with the mature adult style of discrimination that I hope most of you have developed, then you have a recipe for great spiritual insight and human evolution. And you've got that happening right now in your horoscope. We see there's been a bit of a tight aspect between Venus and Saturn. That's passing now, I'm pleased to say, but you have Mercury, you have the North Node, what we call the Dragon, and Saturn, along with Venus, all there in the fifth house. Now, the reason I started the reading with that prelude on being like a child is because this fifth house of your horoscope is to do with children and that childlike quality. You've also got your ruling planet, the moon, with Mars in the second house, and Mars is throwing its square aspect into this zone of the zodiac. So there's probably some resistance in stripping back some of your concepts at this time, but it's absolutely essential, is what I'm saying, if you're going to move to that next plateau in your life. And maybe, just maybe, your personal relationships, especially those associated with children, younger people, could be challenging you at the moment. So I'm not saying this will be easy, but you do need to broaden your horizons here. Let go of your judgments. You may find yourself now in a situation where all of your past conditioning is coming to bear upon the situation that you're in. You're not feeling comfortable in the situation, but that's only a mental attitude. And what I'm saying to you right now is that you need to explore, experiment, and just try something a little bit diverse to see where that takes you. You need the spirit of adventure right now during these transits. Mercury in triangular aspect to Neptune. That is perfected on the 2nd of October. It's happening right now. And that again is the spiritual component that I'm talking about. Mercury is moving in a retrograde fashion throughout the month. So of course that's going to make you feel as though your decisions need to be second guessed. You can't make a decision clearly with that toing and froing of Mercury in that fifth sector of your horoscope. So a lot of this, as I've also said to you in the past during your readings, is you need to have quite a bit of trust in the process of the universe. You can't think things through. That's the problem with Mercury. It's a very intellectual planet. It wants to rationalize everything. That could also be a problem for you being an emotional type and having the moon as your ruler. So yeah, we see that. Bit of a shift, excuse me, a bit of a shift on the 8th of October. Venus moves to your 6th house of work affairs. So it could be a shift away from this whole spiritual component that I'm talking about to a more work-related situation. That could be good too. Venus is a pleasurable planet. It generally softens the affairs of the house that it is moving into, in your case, the 6th house of work. So your workplace activities, I hope, should be quite smooth. There's an exception there, but I don't think it's too much of a problem on the 10th with the right angle to Venus. Don't expect too much. Don't expect people to think the way you do either. Sometimes you need to think the way I'm talking here without imposing that on others. Obviously, not everyone is going to understand. The difficult aspects from the Sun to your natal position and also to Jupiter from around the 10th to the 14th of October. Also, Sun in opposition to the career sector of your horoscope after that time. Shows some challenges again at this time. More work-related, but fortunately you have that Venus energy smoothing over the affairs of your workplace. It could also indicate, even just temporarily, a shift away from where you're working into a new sort of area of activity. Maybe a new environment, new office, a makeover, that type of thing. With Mars moving into the 3rd house on the 15th, your contracts, your communications are all fired up. Now you can take the lead here, especially if you haven't been happy with the way people have been communicating to you or the way they've structured some of your work. Here's your opportunity to take the lead, be a little bit more bold, and that comes on the heels of the eclipse in the 10th house of your career. Now that's going to reveal a lot to you this month, I believe. Maybe something you've intuitively felt, but certainly this next month or so, this eclipse is going to shake things up in your workplace. It may shake up some of the management activities, some of the people that have been running the show. If you're employed by someone, could be out with a whole lot of new faces coming in. We see the presence of Sun in the 5th sector, that zone of the horoscope that I've been talking about, around the 23rd. So that's also going to activate your creativity very, very strongly. And affairs of the heart may rise to the surface too. Whereas you may not have felt completely comfortable, you may not have felt as if you're receiving your just desserts. Now's the time when you can really see that karma coming back to you. So it's also a nice period for you, with the rest of the month showing some very fine aspects from the Sun to Neptune, Venus to your career sector, and Mars to Pluto. So all of these are indicative of strong intellectual, physical, and emotional elements that work to your in your favor and give you the opportunity to, I guess, swing things your way. But you do need to take the lead, and that's going to continue there with Mars in that 3rd sector. Look forward to your company again next month. In the meantime, of course, we have a more detailed textual analysis of the month in question. They're at astrology.com.au, my website. Daily readings as well, if you want to get into the nitty-gritty, day by day, and our yearly readings. Free psychic readings too, and don't forget our affiliates there. Very, very talented bunch of psychics, card readers, clairvoyants, and yours truly there if you'd like to talk to me about anything in particular. Take care now. Bye-bye.